Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with my WWE Raw review for tonight, Monday, November 12th, 2012. Of course, the last Raw before Survivor Series this Sunday. Overall, tonight's Raw, my thoughts on it being the go-home show before the pay-per-view on Sunday. For being a 3-hour Raw, of course, it was always a mixed bag of things. But of course, return of Jerry Lawler. We also found out finally who was going to be the fifth man on Team Foley. Surprising choice for a man who could be teasing a face turn like I kind of predicted last week. And also, of course, we saw a decent main event tonight between Punk and Cena. Not as good as the pay-per-view matches, but I'll explain about that match when we get to it. But overall, my thoughts on Raw. Okay, we're heading towards Survivor Series, building up some things. We got a new match made. Like I said, new member of Foley's team, so we'll get to all of that in a few moments. And of course, we also saw, I didn't mention this last week, but there's a new guy coming, this little Dance with the Stars gimmick guy named Fandango. I didn't mention that last week, but I mentioned it this week that he's teased again this week, Fandango, so we'll see what he's like when he debuts, probably after Survivor Series. But on to the last Raw before Survivor Series, starting with our first matchup involving two men from Team Foley and Team Ziggler. The namesake of Team Ziggler, Dolph Ziggler, taking on Randy Orton. Now, indeed, Randy Orton was getting his butt whipped most of the matchup. It was an okay matchup to open up Raw, kind of set the tone for the evening, kind of. And it was an okay matchup with Orton getting his butt handed to him by Ziggler in the early going of the matchup. But indeed, Orton came back with a big vengeance, doing all his classic moves and everything, with, of course, the big DDT and a power slam. Alberto Del Rio, despite a distraction from Mr. Alberto Del Rio, Orton did not let that phase him, and indeed, he did nail a roll-up from Orton to get the victory. So there you go. Orton gets the victory with a roll-up on Ziggler, despite distraction from Alberto. But indeed, Alberto and Orton's rivalry will heat up as they will be part of Team Ziggler and Team Foley, respectfully. But after that matchup with Orton getting the victory despite distraction, Alberto was angry. So was Dolph. So Dolph and Alberto, with a little help also from Ricardo, beat the crap out of Orton 3-on-2. However, Kofi Kingston came to the rescue. And here comes Teddy Long coming out, saying that with Vicky Guerrero distracted with this whole AJ thing, which she claims to have more evidence concerning this little silly, stupid storyline between AJ and Cena, which would be going up next after this impromptu matchup made by Teddy Long, which was Randy Orton teaming up with Kofi Kingston against Alberto Del Rio and Dolph Ziggler. It was another okay matchup to have the second match right after the first one, and Kofi, it was like the last match. Kofi was mostly on the getting his butt whipped for most of the match, being isolated at ringside by Ziggler and Alberto. Despite Alberto angry about Ziggler being captain, at least they showed decent teamwork as they head towards, like I said, their big match. Team Foley versus Team Ziggler at Survivor Series. But as Kofi was getting his butt whipped, Kofi did get Orton in, coming in like a house of fire, dominating. Then Kofi got back in, and Kofi was also kicking on high gear. Waiting to deliver. He delivered his broom drop, and he was waiting to deliver the Trouble in Paradise to Alberto Del Rio. Alberto Del Rio, but however, Ricardo distracted Kofi just before he got to nail it. And with Kofi trapped in the corner, thanks to Ricardo, Alberto nailed his nasty insecurity kick to the head in a 1-2-3 victory for Dolph Ziggler and Alberto Del Rio, giving themselves and Team Ziggler a big push in momentum for their match this Sunday at Survivor Series. As I mentioned, as of this match, it was still 4-on-5 at this point. Of course, Team World Scholars, Alberto, Dolph Ziggler, and Ray Barrett against Team Hell No, Kofi, and Orton. Of course, the fifth man will be determined later on in the evening. Now on to our next segment, which, like I mentioned, involved AJ, Vicky, and John Cena. This ongoing AJ John Cena scandal drama continued to unfold as Vicky Guerrero had AJ out at ringside to play out these voice messages of AJ saying that Cena drives her crazy, and whenever she's with him, she's out of control, and all of these things going on, of course, building up this little silly storyline between these two. AJ and Cena once again denying they're more than just friends. Indeed, that's the old excuse. The oldest excuse in the book is just good friends. But indeed, as AJ was being confronted by both Vicky and Dolph Ziggler, here comes John Cena to the rescue. And as Cena was ready to pounce on Dolph, AJ held him off before AJ slapped the taste out of Dolph's mouth. And indeed, Cena came with the punch to nail Dolph out of the ring and send Vicky and Dolph angry. So we also saw another backstage segment involving Cena and AJ later on in the evening. So we'll see how this storyline unfolds and see how it gets sillier. It's okay storyline. And it's kind of silly, but anyway. Cena and AJ and see if this whole situation can distract Cena heading towards his match this Sunday. And of course also his match tonight against CM Punk. Now, on with our next match, which was a Divas match. Now, it wasn't exactly TV 14 yet. Of course, we all know Linda McMahon did lose the Senate in Connecticut, which I predicted last week and begged for last week, and indeed that didn't happen. Before we get to that Divas match, we had another match involving the Big Show and William Regal. Of course, William Regal wanting revenge on the Big Show for knocking him out at a pub last week. And of course, what happened on SmackDown, Super SmackDown Live in a tag match. Of course, Big Show was dominant most of the matchup. William tried his best to fight off the Big Show in this decent matchup. But indeed, William Regal ended up like all the rest. Didn't get KO'd again. But indeed, well, at this moment, as we would see later on in the evening, William Regal did get chokeslammed by Big Show in an okay, decent matchup, giving Big Show big momentum for his match against Sheamus. As he was ready to pounce on Regal to knock him out after the match, here comes Sheamus to the rescue, once again saving his good friend Regal, pouncing on Big Show, sending him out of the ring. Of course, we would not see the last of Sheamus and or the Big Show, as we would see later on in the evening during Sheamus' match. Now, on to that Divas match I was talking about. Now, like I said, it wasn't exactly TV 14 yet, where we did get a little bit of TV 14 tonight, with, of course, doing the match between Layla and Caitlyn to be a number one contenders match to face up against Eve this Sunday for the Divas title at the Survivor Series. I did hear some "We Want Puppies" chants. So we started to get sprinkles of TV 14 now with the crowd saying it. The crowd in Columbus, Ohio was decent tonight. But of course, we're not full on TV 14 yet, but we had little glimpses, as we would see with our next segment following this Divas match. So here we go. Caitlyn, it was a quick matchup with, of course, Eve watching at ringside. Caitlyn got the victory over Layla in a quick and miss matchup. And of course, Caitlyn will now go on to face Eve for the Divas title. So we have two new matches made. We do have another match being made later on in the evening, but I think we have a new match for Survivor Series made at that moment with Eve defending her title against Caitlyn. Now on to our next segment, which of course included the return of Jerry the King Lawler, the commentary. Of course, his heart attack was sustained about 9 weeks ago. And to see him out on the wing tonight, I know we saw him in the VSI interview a few weeks ago, but tonight, seeing him in person, it was great to see him. I know a lot of people, including myself, are sad to see JR go from commentary, because JR was just keeping the King's seat warm for King to return. But it's great to see the King back, delivering a kind of an emotional speech for him, and the crowd literally cheering for him and on their feet. And as King was making his speech about thanking the people for the support, feeling like the guy, George, and It's a Wonderful Life, about not knowing how much people love you until you're out for a while, like what Jerry said, he felt like the movie. And I was watching that, I was like, please don't let anyone interrupt this. Well, indeed, someone did interrupt Jerry the King Lawler, and it was indeed CM Punk. The man who, of course, many people believe may have caused Jerry the heart attack, because, of course, Jerry got the heart attack just moments after wrestling Punk in a tag match. But it ain't Punk's fault. I will agree with Punk on that one, that he did not cause the heart attack. But Punk was talking about King and bad-mouthing him about being out for months and being a man of bad taste. Punk's considered a man of bad taste, King's bad taste, blah, 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 blah. And like I said, we had a little sprinkles of TV 14 with the Divas Let's Go We Want Puppies chant. And then we had this segment involving Punk as he was continuing to talk. Paul Heyman had a fake heart attack with him collapsing on the floor, and Punk delivering the X trying to get doctors out, and I knew he was faking it, and indeed it was a little bit of a joke. Kind of a sick one, some people's mind, but indeed, you want TV14, you got it. That's the thing with TV14. You know, TV14 had all these things that you liked and some things that you just thought were just wrong, like the Katie Vick segments and all that. And this is kind of like what a TV14 segment would be like, them burying a heart attack. You know, it's kind of a sick joke, but in this day and age, with We Want TV14, that's what you're going to get. If you want TV14 again, come and get it. You know, I know I saw people on Facebook complaining about it, but come on, man. You know, it's a sad joke. I'll give them that, but like I said, it's edgy for it being a TV14 type joke. That's what you would get under these TV14 circumstances if they were to bring TV14 back. So for every hard-hitting blood, which we did see a little bit of tonight, and every good chair shot, and every hardcore match, you would get kind of like off-the-wall, kind of like weird jokes like the Jerry King Lawler heart attack parody that we saw tonight. But after that, here comes Mick Foley. Of course, Mick Foley was going to team his team against Team Punk, but of course, thanks to McMahon's decision, that wasn't happening. And Foley didn't want to get his hands all over Punk. He did announce two things. He would be the special guest enforcer for his match against Cena this evening, where he also announced that the WWE Universe would vote on Raw Active to choose the final man for Team Foley. Would it be The Miz, who I said last week was kind of teasing a face turn after he left Team Punk at the time? I kind of sensed it that there was going to be a sense of maybe Miz could join Team Foley. They also teased a face turn by wanting to shake Kofi's hand last week on Super SmackDown Live, but Kofi denying it. But Miz wants to be on the ballot after converting Dolph Ziggler. So would it be Miz, or would it be one half of Team Cobra, Zack Ryder, or Santino Marella? Well, we would find out later on in the evening as the winner of that poll would team up with Kane, one member of Team Foley, against Team World Scholars. But while we would find out who would indeed be part of Team Foley, and indeed take the place of Ryback and team up with Kane tonight, we have our next match, an 8-man tag match, which involved the International Airstrike, their team name, of course, referring to Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd, teaming up with Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara against Primo and Epico and the Primetime Players, Titus O'Neil, and there we go. A pretty good tag match, pretty good 8-man tag match with decent time. Of course, almost every guy had an impressive showing in this matchup. Of course, the bad guys did take the advantage for most of the matchup, as Rey and Sin Cara were fighting most of the matchup, taking each other in and out as they were delivering their usual high-flying maneuvers. Mysterio did try for 619, but countered it in the last 5 minutes, the last few minutes with the high rally was my favorite moment with all these guys delivering moves with Mysterio and everyone fighting on the outside, with Mysterio flying, Sin Cara flying, Kidd flying in. But indeed the ending came when indeed after Kidd countered a move on Darren Young. Young got ready for the 619, and Mysterio tagged in Justin Gabriel for the 450 splash and the victory for the International Airstrike, and Mysterio and Sin Cara in a very high-flying ending to a decent 8-man tag. So there you go. Of course, I hope we see a match between those guys in the Survivor Series, but we probably won't. Now on to our next match. I mentioned that we did get one new match tonight, which was for the Survivor Series, which would be the Divas match, Eve against Caitlyn. We have to have a Divas match at Survivor Series, even though we don't want it. We do want puppies. Anyway, I said there was 2 matches made tonight. The second match made was R-Truth taking on Antonio Cesaro for the U.S. title. Now, this fool's been fuming for a while since R-Truth saved Kofi Kingston from an attack from Cesaro. And I think R-Truth did pin Antonio Cesaro during a tag match, I think 2 weeks ago. So, indeed, R-Truth deserves a title shot. And, indeed, he will get one this Sunday. And the champion was watching R-Truth as he was taking on Tenzai. I haven't seen Tenzai in a while. It's kind of weird that he's still around. He had a big push, and then he's like basically a jobber now. That's what happened tonight. It was okay, typical silly squash show with R-Truth getting the victory over Tenzai. Just a decent matchup with, of course, the STO for the victory. And indeed, R-Truth was getting momentum and sending a big message to Antonio Cesaro for their title match this Sunday, vowing to kick Antonio Cesaro's teeth in this Sunday at Survivor Series and become the new United States Champion. Now, R-Truth, if he would win the U.S. title, it would be okay, but he did. Now, on to our next match, which was a match that kind of got hyped a little bit over the last week. The match between Brad Maddox and Ryback. Now, of course, Brad Maddox is, of course, the rogue referee who screwed Ryback at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Kind of a silly way to have Ryback get his first loss, in my mind, but still, at least it kind of hyped up the Ryback Cena and Punk feud a little bit. But indeed, Brad Maddox wanted to be a star. He wants to be an active roster star. He wants to be a wrestler. That's why he wanted to do what he had to do to impress the WWE guys and make them notice. It made him want to get a contract. And indeed, he wanted that last week. He said he wanted a contract and a match with Ryback, where he got both. A chance at $1 million contract by having a chance to beat Ryback tonight. And Brad Maddox was all cocky, tweeting about it, having a camera guy follow him. But when it came down to it, it was just like everybody else. With WWE preparing themselves with an EMT truck and EMTs waiting at ringside for the imminent squashing of Brad Maddox. And indeed, that's what happened. Despite Maddox trying to run out early in the match, Ryback did indeed get Mr. Maddox and indeed destroyed him. Now, I know in TNA they have the whole chant for Samoa Joe. You know, Joe's gonna kill you. Tonight it was Maddox, Ryback's gonna kill you. So Ryback indeed destroyed those power bombs, 3 of them. They were stiff. Like, you could see Maddox. That's why I'm not the biggest fan of Ryback. That's why I haven't been big on Ryback and he pushed for the main event because he just fucking beats people up. He just literally beat the living shit out of Brad Maddox tonight. You know, like I said, look at those power bombs, 3 of them. His head just smacked the floor. Like, you know, you can see his head like, huh, I bet you $10 he'll get probably a real injury tonight. That storyline, Mr. Maddox. But like I said, Maddox, despite his cockiness, ended up like all the rest, being fed to the beast that is Ryback, getting to meet her clothesline, and of course, the big shell shock and a 1-2-3 victory for Ryback, getting revenge on the guy who indeed screwed him at Survivor at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I keep saying Survivor Series. But the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, and of course, sending a big message to Cena and Punk for their match this Sunday for the WWE Championship, which I hope Ryback doesn't win. But Ryback wasn't done. He indeed, as they were rolling Maddox on the stretcher, Ryback beat the crap out of Maddox some more by meat hooking him on the ring, outside the ring, and carrying him literally to the stretcher, closing the door on him. And I thought something would happen between maybe like Paul Heyman coming out and interfering since Maddox talked to Paul Heyman, but indeed we saw nothing of it as Ryback squashed the hair out of Maddox, and there goes Maddox's dreams of being a superstar. Or are they done? Maybe we'll see Maddox again, but probably we'll see what happens there if Maddox comes back or not, despite losing. Now on to the next match, which was another squasher. We had one squash, and we have another. Sheamus taking on David Otunga. Now, of course, Sheamus going towards his match. He indeed destroyed Otunga with a lot of anger in his eyes, ready to beat the crap out of Big Show. You can see the anger in Sheamus' eyes. He was delivering the brogue kick. Following the white noise, of course, Sheamus got the victory in his very quick squasher matchup. But indeed, the Big Show, like I mentioned, he did not get to knock out Regal during their match. But Big Show did knock out Regal backstage after Sheamus' win over Otunga, sending Sheamus in the back. Wanted to beat the crap out of Big Show, which he never did. But indeed, Sheamus and Big Show both want to beat the crap out of each other. And of course, they will get a chance at Survivor Series when Big Show defends against Sheamus in the World Heavyweight title match. It'll be probably somewhat better than Hell in a Cell, but still, it'll be like Hell in a Cell. Stupid. Until like the ending probably, until it gets really exciting. So, there you go. Now on to the next match, which was the tag match to find out who would be the 5th member of Team Foley. Despite Daniel Bryan's jealousy over who would team up with Kane, Kane would team up against the newest member of Team Foley as voted on by the WWE Universe, The Miz. I'll get my thoughts on Miz being on the team in a few moments. But indeed, Daniel Bryan came to watch the match as Kane would team up with The Miz against Team World Scholars. Now, World Scholars had a little advantage in the beginning after Miz came in like a house of fire, beating the crap out of everybody. But indeed, World Scholars did get the advantage despite distractions, well, especially distraction from Daniel Bryan. Kane and Miz found a way to win. And of course, Miz, after getting crap beat out of him for most of the matchup, after having an early advantage, Kane got tagged in with a hot tag, came in like a house of fire. But indeed, Daniel Bryan was trying to beat up Miz and inadvertently hit one of the guys. I think he hit Cody Rhodes by accident. But indeed, that gave Miz an advantage to get Cody Rhodes back in the ring. Like a domino effect with Daniel Bryan trying to nail Miz, but then Miz nailing Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes getting nailed back in the ring by Miz to get a choke slam by Kane in the victory for Miz and Kane, who teamed up pretty well with each other, teasing a possible, not just a possible, Miz-Kane tag team with Rhodes Scholars did beat Team Hell No for the tag titles this Wednesday on the main event, but Miz face turned down. My thoughts on Miz being on Team Foley, because I kind of sensed that, because like I said, for Miz left Team Ziggler last week, and I said it last week, I was like, there's a big possibility that Miz could be the fifth man in Team Foley because of him leaving Team Punk at the time. And indeed, it was teasing the face turn by wanting to shake Kofi's hand last week. Kofi had nothing of it. But now Miz is basically full-on face tonight. And what better way to turn face than to turn face in your home state of Ohio tonight, being in Columbus and all. So there you go, The Miz, now face. He's a great heel. As a face, like I've seen some great heels turn into bad faces. Ain't that right, Randy Orton and John Cena? Like Randy Orton was a killer heel, and as a face, he's just, it's weird seeing him as a face. That's the same thing with The Miz. Miz is cocky and arrogant. How's he going to project as a face? We'll see how his face turn goes. His first ever face turn in the WWE, but we'll see what happens with that as Miz gets the victory with Kane tonight. And ready to team up with Kane and Daniel Bryan with Kofi and Orton against Team Ziggler. Ziggler, Cody Rhodes, Damian Sandow, Alberto, and, of course, Wade Barrett. Now on to our main event, which was John Cena taking on CM Punk with Mick Foley as the special guest enforcer. Now, Cena and Punk have fought many times. Money in the Bank match, probably the best match. Night of Champions, the most recent one-on-one pay-per-view match, was my second favorite match of theirs. This match was decent from them. Slow going the first half of the matchup, Punk getting the advantage. Basically, a typical Super Cena match with Punk beating the crap out of Cena for most of the matchup until Cena came in like a house of fire. And the last 10 minutes was pretty good with, of course, count after counter. It was like all the previous matches. Slow in the beginning, but indeed it picked up in the middle with great counters and various near falls. Cena nailing the STFU, counting the GTS, delivering 2 5-knuckle shovels. It was indeed an interesting matchup. Indeed, as Cena was ready to get ready to cement the victory, Paul Heyman distracted Cena, and Cena and Foley both double-teamed to get Mr. Heyman out of the ring and almost got Punk to win, but Punk got worried to nail the GTS, and then Cena got the STFU, which made Punk go out of the ring after going to the rope. And Punk wanted a count out. He wanted to walk out. But he was stuck between rock and a hard place. Not only was he stuck with Cena and Foley in the ring, Ryback was blocking his way backstage. So indeed with that, Cena got the wall-up. Actually got, I think it was a roll-up or an FU. But indeed, Cena got the FU and the victory, unfortunately for us, as Cena beats the WWE Champion at a match on Raw, fair and square, with no controversy, besides Ryback distracting Punk. So there you go. John Cena wins, but once again we end Raw almost the same way as we did last week, with Ryback and Cena getting into a one-on-one confrontation, having a stare down. And Punk left his belt on the ground. Both men grabbed the belt, had a little tug-of-war with it. And Punk wanted no part of it, grabbed the belt, and ran. So indeed, Ryback and Cena both have momentum on their side, both getting wins tonight. but we haven't seen Ryback wrestle Cena much. We've seen him tag last week, and it ended, like I said, Raw ended last week with a confrontation between them two, little stare down. Tonight we end the same way. So we'll see if Cena and Ryback will beat the crap out of each other, or beat the crap out of Punk separately, or together, as we prepare for that title match, triple threat, this Sunday on pay-per-view. So like I said, decent one tonight to go home before Survivor Series. I wish there was more Survivor Series matches made, but like traditional Survivor Series matches, I wish there was more of them made, but what can you do? I'm glad there's a little TV 14 sprinkling in there, but we'll see if it's full on TV 14 in the future. So there you go. Punk, Cena, Ryback, Team Ziggler, Team Foley, R-Truth, and Antonio Cesaro. Eve against Caitlyn. Sheamus against Big Show. That's, of course, the matches as of right now for the Survivor Series. That is it for the WWE Raw review, my Raw review. Thank you all very much for watching. With that in mind, you've all been attacked by the review from Zach. Thank you all very much. See you later. Yeah.